As I said before, this morning, many of what we have seen in the market are really caused by the federal interest rate rise or not to rise. So what we have seen so far, and this has also prevalent to many of the market, seems to be the direction now has been really focused on what is likely to happen. Will the interest rate raise be up or down? At the same time, a lot of focus is also on the Russian and Ukraine front, as we've seen this market pushing it. So market remain to be very jitty. And I do appreciate for you, those of you who've been coming and supporting this channel in here, and do share now. Now on our local front, the Malaysian KLCI, later I'll share with you, it's pretty much on the focus where the market is likely to move sideways, at least not until we get the budget 2023, which will show us where the direction is going. So that's why we are seeing what we are seeing. So let's get on to our breakfast show this morning in here. All right, so right now we could see, switching to a wider chart where we have, and many of you would have seen the new SmartRobie interfaces, and I do hope that you will like it for what we have spent considerable amount of budget to bring this into you. So let's look in the KLCI. There may be a bit of slowness that you experience here. Just make sure you click it twice in here, and also don't forget to check out our free exchange. Activated your free exchange to use all monthly password in here and stand a chance to win 50 ringgit. So this is where we are promoting for our SmartRobie users to use the KLCI S&P 500 and also SGX, and also feedback to us how we can make this definitely better for your experiences, okay, in here. So what we have shown so far, and the market seems to be going into what we call a kind of sideways direction. We have seen it's still in the blue Pentagon in here. Let me just bring it out, and we have this what we call interactive chart, so you can put it in there. And also we have shown to you last week, you can actually change the rotation. You can change the rotation in here, so you can see much better. So that will enhance the experience of the user using this in here. So we really appreciate that you can also let your friends know how this apps can definitely help you not. So right now we can see the market is right back to the 1460 1470 support level, and it's not seems to be hitting anywhere other than what we've seen in here. So back to it in here, and of course what we have so far is the market is nowhere to be, just down 3 points, up 3 points, you know, the kind of in here. You got, of course, some of those penny stocks seem to be doing much better. Euro, you know, Bintai, FNN, all here, the usual suspect that we've seen. MPI continue to fall because they did miss a big earnings in here. Hectech continue to fall. Jinhin is also falling in here, one of the big sell-off this morning in here. And that's one of the stocks we were talking last week about, the insider buying. Kind of strange why we see this kind of big selling that we've seen so far, but we probably have to wait. It's still early in the morning here, market do recover, and that's also part of why we can really look into some of those stocks that we talk about. They have insider buying, insider here. All right, there is Kevin's wondering a comment on DG. Will the rise due to the KL from the merger in here? That's also possible, but most of these things is already been priced in. But we will take a look at the DG using the in here. Now the KLCI market continues to slide sideways, directional for a while, as I said before. Not until we get some sort of a bearings from the budget 2023 that was tabled by the Prime Minister in this Friday in here. Some of the ST stocks we will talk about the last episode, which is episode 203 in here, and how well they fare. And of course our beginner in here, stick to the FA dividend stock, which much do later in here. Of course we will look at some of the stocks that are the public or the members who want me to look at it in here. I'll be happy to look at that, and do share this video in your timeline that we'll be talking about. So let's take a look at the market in here, and the SmartRobie is powered by the Pentagon Guide in here. Now the KLCI now, it's already in green, as I said before. So what you have seen in here, it's tend to have moved up and down. So we have seen early on this chart, you just click on this here and you're able to access the chart in here. It is still switch on to a 1 month chart, so you can see better in here. right now he has turned green Pentagon, but then you have the strong SOW, sign of weakness, which is also in line what we see in the US in here. The foreign funds continue to sell off and they are back in again. You do notice the railway track is still uptrend, but it's likely to turn, right? And the many times that we try to retest back the 1500, which failed, and that's why it's coming back to range bound between the 1460 and 150, the 40-point move range in here. It's kind of been very boring when the market moves sideways, really untested ground, and many people will be frustrated going in here. So what we have seen, this is the futures chart. You can see market stages is definitely showing pretty much a mixed message, higher, mid-high, lower, mid-low kind of thing. But what is really significant here is the UT uptrust is causing the market to pull back in here. And of course for the FKLI futures, which is a forward indicator, has turned red Pentagon and trending downwards. The railway track is starting to cross down, and you will also see that on the curve. So it is bearish in future for the markets for it to come. So let's take a look at the hot sector, which is hot this morning in here. Switching to, you can see from here, and looking at the hot sector. And you have property, telemedia, energy, and plantation and industry. So what I have selected this morning is the idea from the hot sector. It will be sorted out from the Pentagon date based on market cap. So generally, you can look at property, telemedia, and energy. So what we're going to be doing today is looking at the second and third item first. I usually like to look at that one because some of those property stock may be too early, but or they already run the 8 in here. But today we have seen that property are in play. Is this also one of those benefiting from the budget 2023 in here? So we are seeing that right now. So let's take a look at telemedia. And you can see from then onwards, these are the respective things that we have. Definitely from the telemedia, DG, right, which is one of just turned green Pentagon. So back to Kevin Creston here. Click 6947 here and hit the stock chart, and it has turned green Pentagon in here. But having said that, buying a lot of this large cap stock like DG, right, is usually a stocks that pretty much like a FA stocks. Okay, you can see it turned green Pentagon much earlier, so, and this morning is already up. So definitely to answer that question here, okay, just let me pinch this smaller a bit here so you can manipulate the chart as it goes on. Okay, I'll have to redo this again because using the two fingers a bit small. Okay, so switching to a 1 month here, so you can see this morning is up 4.4%. so definitely the DG has already been priced in. So you notice a green Pentagon, which happened about 3 days ago. That was the right timing to go in. So right now, if you are going in here, you're buying a bit of high, and generally once the result is generally in par, usually the stocks will come down. But on the longer term, let's look at the fundamentals, since we are also looking the same transport in here, and just hit up the menu button and go on the stock fundamental for DG. Right, you can see DG pays a very decent dividend in here. 3.6%, has a PE of 47 times with a sector average of 35. So that's slightly pricey in here, and the return on equity which really high in here. And they are pretty much a cash rich company, but they usually need to spend a bit on the buy. The other stocks that we can look at it, which also turn green Pentagon, you can see from the sector in here, is 0032. All right, so 0032 is red tone. Hit that one, and you can see, let's look at the stock chart, stock comment. Right, and Axiata has also moved ahead. Usually some of these stocks, the bigger company, in this case I do think that Celcom is DG is eating up Axiata, right? That's why it's up 8.7% in here. The smaller cap, so that's what's actually moving in the telemedia and transport, right? Thank you, good morning, Nora, thank you for coming in here. Do apologize, morning. So you can see from here, only those blue chips, it seems to be DG and Axiata, that's the one causing it to move up in here. But the respective one like Astro has turned red Pentagon, OCK red Pentagon, Opcon has turned red Pentagon in here. So let's look at the red tone. Red tone is still on a nice uptrend. Railway track still up in here. Will it get some more in here? And again, this is also benefiting from the budget 2023 infrastructure that the government want to spend a lot more on the rural area, increasing their broadband reach out there. So maybe something you can look into this, just up 2.8% in here. All right, so let's turn our attention now to the last week, the 13th of February, some of our green Pentagon and also stocks. First one is Eno. Let's take a look at Eno here, and you can see Eno from where we left off, right? It turned back to red Pentagon, still supported because you have the double top resistance in here. So on that note itself, right, this is a Robie FA stock. So for beginners, you will be benefiting a lot from the stock fundamentals, right? Overall, the sector for plantation, which is an analyst is putting out, it seems to be sort of bearish to a sideway market. But having said that, this stock do pay a very, very good dividend, giving it a 5 out of 8 with a respective 14% dividend. A nice dividend play with ROE at 35 in here. So definitely, this is a very good fundamental stock in my opinion, giving it a 5 in here. But as I said before, the continuation of the Western country like EU press for palm oil being destructive to the nature and also the animals in here, so it not get the kind of valuation, the good valuation that we are seeing in here. But that is what is on the Robie FA stocks. We does pay dividend in here. And the next one, right, you can see from here is Hapsing Plantation, another plantation play in here, but this one seems to be going higher because you don't see the technical double resistance that you see previously in Eno, and that's sometimes make those stocks go higher. Of course, even if it's high, it's not going as high as that it should. You know, these kind of big stocks usually will take its time to move up, but on the longer term, if you're investing in here, and we do advocate for beginner to invest in a good Robie FA stocks, and you could see this morning is still up, right, as we say here, up 1%. Okay, small volume, only 12k as of 10 of 36 in here. And so let's dividend stock, let's look at the dividend side of it in here. And Hapsing Plantation, and this one is giving it a 8% dividend, much better than you're getting from the bank with a PE of 5 times in here. And you can see some of the top share holder is the EPF and John Chia, and floating shares is only 28%, so that's relatively low. So that also play, this stock has not much of the volatility, but definitely a good beginner for those who wanted to invest from a longer term here. All right, so we cover that one. Now also don't forget to subscribe to our daily newsletter, where you can get some of these good FA stocks that we posted out regularly in here. And now let's check out the Robie FA list for this morning. Okay, going back to the main menu, you can see here, and definitely we only have one. All right, Taan. Okay, let's take a look at Taan. Hit that 5012 and look at the chart. Let's look at the fundamental first. All right, so you can see from Taan, he's been coming down again. Taan is in the timber, I believe, some sort of timber resources in here, rated 4 out of 8, not too bad, giving it a 10% dividend, close to about 11%, with an ROE of 22%. But having said that, this kind of stocks does not get the kind of attention it does. It when hit about $4, though this is a nice degree of swing up in here, you can see. So Tahan with the target price of 480, right, at the PE of just 5.5 times. Now it's only PE of 4 times. It should get the kind of good PE, but floating shares is 77%. That makes it a bit more volatile as the share is able to move up and down. If you have any questions in here, anything you want me to look at, just feel free to post it in. I'll be happy to look into some of these stocks that you've seen. So Robie FA list, Taan is definitely one of those stocks that you want to be buying, especially if you are a beginner starting on it. You want to focus on the nice dividend, and that's pretty much what we've seen. But we also have some of our advanced Robie users, just on the next 2 slides we'll be coming to it in here. So On chart wise, it does has a nice degree of freedom in here. And let's go on to our next topic here. Now, next topic is the advanced user. So when it comes to advanced user, you want to use the ST2 intraday alert. Now, take a look at the last week, the last episode, which is the episode 203. 13th of February at 9:50. We pick up a couple of shares like this in here. We got nice Anita Persona, if you remember those episodes that we've done. JSB, which is a stock that also mentioned by Zach in here, and Jinhin Group Property and MCE. Now take note, we don't want to buy stocks that have already moved up too much, all right, and we want to buy stock that is at least 47 cents in here. So let's move up in here, and let's take a look. The first one is the Jendayu. Jendayu did pretty well, 86.5, and then since that it moved up to 91 cents and still continue on in a nice uptrend just after 1 week. Right, the potential giving it a 5.7% with the possible gain of 570 ringgit from a $10,000 trade in here. So for those of you who are advanced user of SmartRobie, intraday alert does give you something to look for rather than just looking at the fundamentals in here. So for the next one is Jinhin Group. We can see hit 115, spotted at 116, but it did hit high within the day, 120, giving a 3.4%. And when you see an uptrust, right, remember uptrust, which also we saw on the KLCI, and usually the market will fall. One of the very powerful and couple of uptrusts that you see, this is where profit taking does takes place in here. So the market has fall back since. Next one is MCE Holding, continue on the uptrend, hit 178, spotted it here, but the market quickly moved to 189, right? So from a 189 to a 199, which does give you a possibility gain between 4.7% to 11.7, but more practically is the 189, 190 will give you about short of 5% gross profit or potential gain of 500 ringgit from a $10,000 trade. So again, this is where the focus is. So for this week, 20th of February, a quick of the ST2 intraday, stage 2 intraday in here at 9:40, picking those below 5 or 6%. We definitely have Scanwolf 55, all right. We have Usma 7%, that's a bit too high. Classic Cynic gone up 9%. Apollo Food, right, again it's a $4 move, and also we have the DG, which Kevin was talking about in here, that the news is coming up. So it did pick up earlier, and I hope that if you check out the ST2 intraday, then that will be beneficial to you. All right, so let's take a look at the stocks previously in here. Scanwolf, so Scanwolf is 7239. Okay, Scanwolf hit that one. Let's take a look at the chart right now, whether it is give us a kind of course, Scanwolf, the fundamentals generally are not very good compared to the Robie FA stock. So you can see this one goes switching to a 1 month chart. It's a lot of congestion in here, so it's going to be a very interesting by next week when we come back and look at this stock on the 27th of February, whether this stock can go high. But definitely you can see volume coming back. You got the overhead resistance around this price here, around the 57, so you can just mouse it over. You can see 56 cents is your resistance right now in here, and currently it is at 54 cents, just for a 2 cent in here, quick in and quick out. So let's take a look next week when we come back in here. Now for our summary, we come into it in here. The KLCI likely to move sideways, and until we see more catalysts on the budget 2023 in here. That's my take as the news coming out. And don't forget, the US market is closed tonight for the President Day, so it's a public holiday, a long weekend in here, so it's going to be very quiet, and that's what our market will be very directional. Robie FA list, it's one of those stocks, like I said before, HS Plant, you're going to be collecting great dividends, and some of those stocks I think will definitely help you one more in here. And they are also Sharia compliance for many of our Nora friend in here. Shorter term, use the ST2 when you are ready. Check out those ST2 in here. But take note, the green pentagon has sign of weakness setting in here with weakness. So that's a couple of things you can really use in on the SmartRobie here. Overall sentiment, focus on the Robie FA stocks. And this coming Wednesday, we got 2 more extra speakers for the rise of AI, as we've seen the ChatGPT. So our focus will be on the US market. I'll be talking about using SmartRobie as well as the challenges that we see in AI in here. And I'll have two speakers, KK Chung from Macquarie as well. Our Coach Fu will be speaking more this coming Wednesday. So make sure you join me at 9:30 this coming Wednesday in here. And of course, our focus has always been our user in here. So really, right? We have a couple of package that's available to move you up in the right stage. Check out our VSA 360 in here with the use of in here. And don't forget to sign up for our newsletter and our YouTube channel in here too, right? If you're ready, go ahead and sign up for our VSA 360 in here, where it has the kind of potential that we see in stock alert, visual trading plan, and also risk to reward here. And don't forget the great review we've been receiving from all of you in here. We thank you in here. And of course, any stocks that you want me to look at, feel free to pencil those in. I'm more than happy to review them right now. Alright, if there's no stock, thank you for coming and thank you for your support. I'll see you on the coming Wednesday. And don't forget to give us the support on our Telegram channel in here for all information in here. And do share that with your timeline or your friends in here that you can join our Telegram for all stock education in the era of following the smart money. And right now we have the insider buying and selling. Thank you again. Bye-bye.